Again, movie fans, I am back here to do another one of these collection videos for my movies. Okay, this time for all of my science fiction movies on Blu-ray. All right, and this will exclude the Star Wars movies, which I'm going to do another video for that separately. Also, any animated movies, so I'm not going to include those in here. All right, and so these are just the Blu-rays because I do have others on DVD. Let's get started in no particular order. All right, so here we have Lucy with Scarlett Johansson, directed by Luc Besson, and a movie that deals with the intelligence. What would happen if we were to use more of our brain other than the supposed 10% that we only use. All right, so it does come. It is a science fiction action movie. A lot of good scenes. Scarlett Johansson, I think, does a really good job, and of course, she looks fantastic as always. Lucy, did see this one in the movie theater. Really like this. Here we have Riddick. All right, this is of course number 3 in the Chronicles of Riddick trilogy. The other ones I do have them, but I have them on DVD. Okay, this was the third one. All right, so Riddick here, and it's starring Vin Diesel, who started in the other two, and it's a pretty good action movie. All right, enjoyed it. A Star Trek movie that this is in fact my only Star Trek movie on anything, on either Blu-ray or DVD, and it is Star Trek: The Motion Picture. And you're probably thinking, okay, you only have one and you have this one. All right. Well, I do have a special fondness for this one. And I think it's a bit underrated. Of course, Star Trek 2 is better, but this one has its moments, and I really like the sense of awe and wonder that it conveys. Which I think is crucial to making a cool science fiction movie. All right. This was the first of the Star Trek movies. And then another one from more or less that era. Here we have a Tron, the original classic. This is the first one. Okay. Did also see this one in the movie theater when it first came out, and it just completely awed me, and it still does. It still holds up. The special effects are very unique, very unique. And for some reason, they don't look dated at all. Maybe a bit, but not as much as you would think. Okay, so it has to do with going inside a video game, virtual reality, and all of that. Which back then, that was just undiscovered territory. 2010, all right, the year we make contact. Curiously enough, I don't have 2001. Of course, I do love that movie, and I do want to get it on Blu-ray. This is 2010, the year we make contact. It's not as good as the first one, of course, but it is a worthy sequel. Okay, it follows up the events from 2001. I have read the book upon which this is based, as I have read also the book 2001: A Space Odyssey. Dune, that 1980s version. Here we have it. And it says here, Edición Especial, which means special edition. Some of these you will see with either titles or text in Spanish. That's because I live in Mexico. Okay, so this is the longer cut, which is sometimes called the Alan Smithy version. Because David Lynch, who was the director of Dune, kind of did not want anything to do with it. And you put the name Alan Smithy when the directors kind of disown that cut. All right, so this is the longer version. I do have the regular theatrical version on DVD. Ender's Game, a classic science fiction novel and a very worthy adaptation. Really like this one, Ender's Game. Okay, also about how kids related to technology and how that makes them especially good soldiers. All right. Ender's Game. Very good. One that looks absolutely fantastic on Blu-ray, which I also have on DVD, but this one blows it out of the water. It's Flash Gordon. All right. And just as colorful as you can get, a lot of fun. This one, it still holds up for the fun, for the soundtrack by Queen, the performances. Great Alex Ross cover right there. Flash Gordon. Love that one. As I do this one. Another classic, but more from way back. I believe this is from 66. This is Fantastic Voyage. The one where they take that submarine and shrink it down to size and go inside a human body. Starring Raquel Welch and also, I believe, Donald Pleasance. Yes. Absolutely a great movie. I love it. Also has that sense of wonder that I think really makes these movies special. When they shrink that ship down to size, it's not like whatever. It's like fantastic stuff. The oldest movie in this pile, but an absolute classic and a must-have. Forbidden Planet. Okay, there's a Robbie the Robot back here, and that's Leslie Nielsen in a serious role. Really good movie. It's a science fiction and mystery, also First Contact. I've also read the novelization for this one, which is also really good, and it gives a little bit more background to the story. Forbidden Planet also looks really great on Blu-ray. The special features in this one includes another whole movie, which is The Invisible Boy. The reason why it includes it is because it includes also Robbie the Robot, and also an episode of the Thin Man TV series, which also includes the robot. Gravity, visually stunning. Right here, Sandra Bullock does a great job. Very tense film. A very more, shall we say, a true-to-life science fiction film, because it has technology that is right now accessible to us, like, well, of course, going into orbit. Gravity. Really cool stuff here. This one is In Time. Forgot the title of it because, again, it has the title in Spanish, El Precio del Mañana, which means the price of tomorrow, which is kind of a more fitting title because it is about a future society where you have to actually pay to live, to extend your life. And that the payment, your time account, if you will, is shown on a glow display right there on your forearm. Okay, so of course, rich people get to live longer, whereas the poor do not. Amanda Seyfried and Justin Timberlake. Amanda Seyfried looks stunning as always. Jupiter Ascending. Right there, I have this one with a slipcase. It is Mila Kunis who it stars with Channing Tatum. Mila Kunis looks fantastic, but this movie is just all over the place, and it's sometimes a mess. The story is ridiculous. I think they tried to go with the Fifth Element vibe to it, though of course they did not get there at all. But still some good scenes, like I said, and Mila Kunis looks great. Speaking of the Fifth Element, I do own the Blu-ray, and in a steelbook no less, the one that is pictured here. And of course it is a great movie, highly visual, a great direction and a lot of fun. When it first came out, I wasn't that into it, but over the years, I've really come to appreciate it more and more. Of course, Mila Jovovich is great to look at, and she's really great in the role as the naive alien. Okay, The Fifth Element, I'm really glad to have it in my collection. I don't know where it is. That's what happens when you have so many movies. Logan's Run. a classic from the 70s, from the pre-Star Wars era. Okay, about a future society where you have to be recycled when you are 30. That would mean that you are, in fact, killed when you are 30 to preserve this future society where everything is perfect, even though the inhabitants of that society believe that they are going to be reborn. Okay, and that crystal on the palm of your hand indicates how old you are. All right, a pretty good film. Has its flaws. It looks a bit dated, especially the effects, but a really enjoyable, starring Michael York and Jenny Agutter. Lost in Space. Here it is a movie version of the popular TV series. Of course, this one deviates in the look of it a lot from the TV series, even though it keeps the basic format of a family, the Swiss Family Robinson in space, so to speak. Okay, there. Pretty cool stuff. It has some interesting a twist right there involving time travel. Here we have Tomorrowland, based on the part of Disney theme parks, which is called Tomorrowland. All right, a very when it came and went, and I was expecting a lot from this because I really do like the Tomorrowland and Disneyland, and I thought they were going to have more elements from it, like maybe incorporate Space Mountain or the People Movers or something like that, but it does have another type of story, which is kind of it's pretty deep, because it involves today's cynicism and how we look at the world of tomorrow, which, as you know, most science fiction movies of today are post-apocalyptic, dystopian. That's what you get. But this one is about how one's thoughts and ideas of a better tomorrow can actually affect tomorrow. Ultraviolet. And of course, the main reason to have this one is because of Mila Jovovich, who looks fantastic as always. She is a vampire, but it's in a future society, and it's, again, one of those movies that's all over the place. Lots of action, lots of CGI, lots of CGI backgrounds. All right. Again, just to watch just because of Mila. A box set here. This is Alien Anthology. I really like this box set. Very sturdy box. And we have here, and with loads of special features, it includes, of course, the classic Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection. All of them on Blu Ray. All of them have really good sight and sound. And it has kind of a shine to it, as you can see. And like I said, I really like this box set. It's compact, doesn't take up too much space, and the inner ones, it comes in this booklet where the booklet has these thick cardboard pages in where the Blu-rays are housed. Okay, so they're very sturdy in there. Blade Runner. Okay, and this is the final cut. There have been several cuts of this movie, okay, but this is the final cut, whatever that means. Okay, a classic right there based on the novel by Philip K. Dick, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which I have not read. I have read a lot of Philip K. Dick, but mostly is short stories, but not that particular novel. Okay, really nice cover right there, and a classic movie. Back to the Future, a much beloved movie. This one I remember I got for free at Blockbuster when that existed, when I renewed my membership. Okay, so they had some movies right there to give away. This was one of them. Back to the Future. I enjoy it. I don't have as much of an emotional attachment as a lot of people do with it, but still, I like it very much. Brainstorm, right there with Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood, which was her last movie, okay, sadly. And this one is explores what was then just theoretical, virtual reality, recording one's thoughts, things that came into fruition later in real life, and also were explored in later movies like The Matrix. But this one is a really good movie, Brainstorm. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right here, and a really great movie, one of Spielberg's best. Fantastic soundtrack. This one includes, in fact, 3 different cuts of the film, which are the original theatrical version, the special edition, and the director's cut. Right there. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I have seen all 3 of the cuts. Are similar, though there are some scenes switched around, and some scenes that are not in other versions. So I do recommend that you watch all 3 cuts of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Contact, right there, about first contact with that satellite array called the SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And Jodie Foster does a great job right there as the scientist who discovers a signal from space and what ensues from there. Okay, Contact. A very low budget movie, but with a cool idea and well executed. Cube, right there, which about the people trapped in some sort of jail, or is it a jail or a maze made up of several cubes that move around within a larger cube, but some of those cubes have death traps in them, and so they must figure out their way around that cube. I really like this one. Very original. Had some sequels, which are not nearly as good as that first one. One that has become a bit of a cult film over the years. It is A Dark City. Okay, also about perception, reality, virtual reality. This is the director's cut, which I believe the director was Alex Projas is his name? Yes, it is. Right there with Rufus Sewell, Kiefer Sutherland, Jennifer Connelly, and William Hurt. Really cool movie, Dark City. One that many have said is in fact an almost remake of Logan's Run, and that is The Island. Once again with the beautiful Scarlett Johansson. Ewan McGregor stars as people that live in an island where they apparently have a perfect lifestyle, and also they are promised a reward, after they leave the island. Though when they leave the island, it's not really what they think it is. So I'm not going to say what it is, so as not to spoil it. But cool movie, lots of action in this one. Morgan, right there. It is about genetically engineered humans and the perils thereof. Starring, I believe it is with Anya Taylor-Joy. One of her, yes, it is, and one of her the movies that she made, before she became super famous as she is now. The Matrix, the first in that now quadrilogy of films. Okay. And this was the one that I've seen them all in the movie theater, but I probably enjoyed this one the best because it was just so mind-blowingly original. Okay, The Matrix. I have it in one of these kind of like a digipack kind of things, where like if it's a hardcover booklet. And lastly, Prometheus, which is a sort of prequel kind of to the Alien series, right there. Interesting, though, how it fits into the Alien universe is kind of hazy, right? But a pretty good movie, and it's kind of a standalone movie, right? Prometheus, even though it did have sequel, which was Alien Covenant. All right, so Prometheus, and that is all for the science fiction on Blu-ray. I do have more science fiction, but on DVD, and I'm also going to do another separate video for all the Star Wars movies and all the fantasy movies on Blu-ray. All right, for now, thank you very much for watching, and so long.